What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Project Zero. Rishabh here with another video podcast, and this is what we'll be discussing today. That's the highlight. That's what I gotta share. But first, what do you guys have to share? So I'm gonna put this down here. Just show you a little bit on the inside. We'll get to it in a second. It's got to do with inflatable gifts from my buddy, and inflatable as in useful stuff like camping equipment. So it's like an inflatable mattress. Bad. Okay, so let's get to that first, and then let's get to you. So, three things. What's your main highlight of the day? What's going on? How's your day been going, guys? What's the main highlight? Anything special, or is it just mundane stuff? That's okay. What was something that was just a little bit that you want to be a little bit happy for? Okay, something to be grateful for. All right, that'll keep you moving on through the day. Like, next thing, you have any frustrations, something you want to vent a little bit? Feel free to go ahead and just chime that in again on YouTube, Discord, or Reddit. I don't really think that's a good idea, but just you can do that either way. If you're text-based, you can go on Reddit. You want to just community-oriented, I have a Discord. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not active there as much as I should be, but on YouTube video, you can go there too. So highlight, venting frustrations. And the third one is always a switch up. So you can make a choice here, guys. You can decide to play comedic and throw a joke, a meme, make light of everything, and then it sounds a little bit like venting. It's not really the same though, because venting is inherently somewhat negative. And then the last one here, so you can switch out the meme for something that's relevant to the topic of this video, which is, like I said, it could be a gift from a friend you want to talk about that you received recently, or from a family member, or you could talk about, or your special significant other. Or the last thing is, there's a lot of stuff here that has to do with like inflatable mattress. So if you talk about camping or equipment like that, or later on Wi-Fi. So there's this here. I think I have to cover that same video because I don't have enough time to do separate videos. So that being said, those are basically related. So slice of life in real life mishmashed together. That's what this is all about in real life. So real life responsibilities, stuff like that, domains, health, finance, all that stuff, employment, relationships. Left-hand side, you got all the creative, machine learning, AI, VR. You've got psychiatry, self-help, stoicism, all that kind of stuff. Put it all together, create this authentic VR mishmash that is what I call Gramps' slice of real life, because I do feel like a grandfather after certain experiences I've been through. So hopefully for the orphans out here, this is what the adult life is like, and you can make it enjoyable. As if I could say that. All right, let's get to it. So what we have down here is it's backwards for you guys. Clark the forklift, www.clarkmhc.com. Now, what is that all about? I don't know. I have no clue. It's just a bag that was given to me. I mean, not given, but loaned to me because my good friend who has invited me to his condo many, many times, and he's been through a lot of difficult obstacles in his life. I really sympathize with that. I'm just going to say very briefly, for example, like a split, divorce for his guardians, and then he's gone through something similar himself. I'm not going to go any further than that. Again, privacy, confidentiality, not going to go through any further than that, private. But basically, he's going through a lot. And, he said, I said, you can drop by once in a while by my new place. There's a certain limit. You can't cross that. But, once in a while, it's all right to, if you're having a difficult time, you can stay over for the night. Kind of refresh yourself downtown, and then grab some nice food, and then head back to your place when things have kind of settled down. I can only keep, you can only stay for a maximum of 1 day, really. Obviously, there are some limitations to how much I can provide there. It's my obligation also to the landlord, to the property manager. So what he's done is he said, well, if that's the case, why don't you see if you can make use of this, and I can also make use of it if I were to drop by. So, and he's a really hard worker. I think you can tell both of us are kind of, in different ways, hyper responsible, I would like to say. We try to take care of too much. It's too much anxiety where we got to tone it down a notch, right? That's part of the PTSD induced symptoms that we have there. But what we have here is he gave me a little camera here. He said, this one's actually a gift. So thank you and blessings to him. And I'm going to turn this over to the backdrop for a second. So thank you very much to my friend here for giving me a radio. It looks great. It's got, because I like listening to the radio. When I was working for the past 4.5 years until this year, I would always turn on the radio. Even beforehand, when I was at all these different client companies, when I was at the staffing agency, that was like 6-7 years ago, I would always listen to the radio. CHFI, you know, 98.1, Body Dust, Toronto's best music mix, all that kind of stuff. Ooh, you know. But basically that's what's been going on. Oh, I guess now you know. But basically we have the radio. It's always good to have the radio when you're working because it makes time fly by so much quicker. And of course, if I'm working on the project or on using health sciences either, or just doing basic paperwork at home, it's always nice to have. I'm not talking about this. This is not home. I would always. It'll always be nice to have like a radio. So I have never been able to listen to the radio conveniently when in my place that I'm living, but I can definitely do that now that I have one, and that's thanks to my buddy. Now let's get over to the most important part of this video, which is this mattress. So it's inside here, this bag. If I turn to the side, inside you see this black plastic thing. Obviously I can't take it out. You can see that it's tied up with the handles. Right, handles tied. But basically it's an inflatable mattress. You just pump it up and then, you know, it'll inflate and then you can sleep on it. Very straightforward. That's why I said camping equipment. If you guys want to leave any sort of stories or anecdotes, that's why it'd be relevant in the comment section below where it's posted away. That's definitely what that's all about. So really appreciate that from him. That's just a loan. I'm not going to use. It's not mine. Even if he gave it to me, I said there are many times he constantly tries to give me stuff because he actually has a lot of possessions. Again, his difficult past, meaning that he has a lot of possessions from his biological father. Related, right? It's kind of, we had this shared experience, and what would end up happening is he'd basically just he's trying to give it away now. You know, there's just so much sentimental attachment, and his biological mother is his mother. Sorry, I should say his mother's actually still quite on good terms with him, like reasonable terms. I don't want to say good terms, but reasonable terms between him and his brother. So again, not divulging too much there, no names, no nothing, but basically, long story short, there's too much sentimental attachment. They're trying to discard it now. They've been holding on to this for so long, over 20 years. The biological father hasn't been there for 20 years now. So it's like, now it's time to finally get rid of stuff. And, you know, now most of this stuff here is actually not his. I don't have a single thing from his father, but I wouldn't want it either, honestly, given the experience that we have shared. But here is definitely a mattress here that is loanable to me, and I say, you know, I've turned away a lot of things, but this one seems relevant because he can actually use it, and he's not giving it to me. And it's like, you know, you gotta take care of yourself first. He's going through a really difficult time. Don't give away stuff. Please just take care of yourself first. But something small that he said, you know, it would help me, he says, to get rid of stuff because I want to clear this place up. You're helping me by getting rid of stuff. So here's some stuff here that I'm also helping him with. I don't feel like I'm helping him as far as I'm concerned because he's just a really giving person. But basically he doesn't have any space, and he's told me, you know, do you have space for any of this stuff here that's like internet modems? And so I can tell we're about 8 minutes in. This one has a lot of stuff inside. I'm going to drop it to the side here so you can see, and we're going to run through it really quickly. So what I'm going to do, and for the record, obviously the radio goes into storage. It's not going to stay here. And the air mattress, that's what it's called, goes into the new place that I leased out. So that's definitely going to be where it's going to go. Next thing. So the white bag here says, I should read it. It says carry telecom in unlimited high-speed internet, phone, and TV. Obviously not mine. This one is totally, it's not even alone. This is just me keeping stuff here because he doesn't have any space left and he doesn't want it on his side. So we have inside here, seems like a sealed Ziploc bag, first item of the day. And this is as much a surprise for you guys as it is for me if you're watching or listening on podcasts. I don't know, but I don't know what's inside here. So I'm just as surprised as you guys. I haven't sifted through this, except for the camera, which we'll get to in a second. Looks like Ethernet cables here. This one says there's like 5 cables, it looks like. Or 2, 3, I don't know. There's a AC adapter, it seems. Grand Stream HT801 installation guide. Okay, I'll put this down here on the side, put it on the bed, move the camera to the side so you can see it briefly. I tilt it down, just very briefly, at least until this video ends. Next thing I want to cover is something that he actually helped me out with. So these are two Wyze cams. You can find this on Amazon. Wyze cam, indoor outdoor cameras, great for 12, 30 second and continuous even recordings. It's got this motion detector, motion sensor system. Sorry guys, I'm kind of having brain fart, but basically it detects when there's motion and then it starts recording, and then it will just turn off until it detects motion again. So it gave me a little snapshot window of when his little puppy dog, it's not puppy anymore, it's like 3 years old now, trotted by the TV and it just moved and it captured it. So this is the indoor and outdoor. Now I purchased this for $100, but he helped me to make the purchase. I was at first not too happy about it because I said, I want the black one because it's more stealth like, you don't want it to be sticking out. But at the end of the day, he's the one who introduced me to the camera in the first place, to the security camera. So I am very thankful regardless. We have this 24-hour recording, person detection. Problem is I haven't scanned everything yet, and he already tried to help me set this up against my will. I said, I don't need this setup here. He's like, and he really insisted, so whatever. And then, unfortunately, that kind of pissed off the landlord. At the time, I still wasn't into pissing off the landlord. I still don't really want to piss off the landlord, especially because the grandpa is really good. Like, the grandpa is a great person still. And I don't really want to get in his way, because he minds his own business. He doesn't try to control people. He's not, some nosy, constantly huge ego. He just does what he needs to do, and that's it. He doesn't stick his nose into other people's business and try to tell people what to do, or play mind games and blame games. It's annoying, and doesn't spread slander and stuff like that. He's just doing what he needs to do. So I wasn't really happy with when my friend also brought. So you can tell this was a little bit of conflict that we had to work through. I said, don't do that. That's just their garage. Don't bring your stuff here. So I was a little bit unhappy about that, but nevertheless, he did get me the cameras. And then this one here is totally a gift. So he said, I'll swap one out. I'll give me that brand new camera. I'll give you this one here instead. This one is basically a model that actually spins and rotates. And it's a 360, it's got infrared. It's a different model, but of the same kind of company, Wyze cam, but this is like a 360 one. And so it records. So for security features, I have one installed here already in this room. So if anyone enters this room without my consent and permission, all right, you're gonna get some legal issues. So that's what it is. And it's getting to that point where I do have to have something like that installed. So thankfully it is installed. And if anyone decides to do something that they shouldn't be doing, I'll have them on camera. Okay? So that, it's getting to that situation right now. Okay, so let's move on. So that's something that's more like a gift. But everything else here is just me holding stuff for him, because he doesn't have space and he wants to keep his house clean. It's not even his house. He says it's his mother's house. He's feeling kind of bad right now because he used to have a condo. But unfortunately, a lot of issues with relationships, and then try to take everything away from him. Not going to say what, but it's pretty clear what that means. So there you go. Now he's got to find a place again. So again, I wish him all the very best. Blessings to him, prayers and thoughts. And we'll continue to see what we can do for each other. But that's that. And we have here next here is like another item here that kind of keeping for him. It's a Sercom model DM1000. I don't know what it is. I think it's a modem on the inside. Put this to the side. Long story short, it's a box. And here it is. I think this is what belongs inside. This is a two wire brand. It's a modem, SSID, Bell, key. So that's basically one of those like internet phone companies, 2wire gateway, 2wire.com. And I have no idea what it is actually myself. I've never used that company before. I can tell it's quite old. It's got some adhesive stuck on it, but this is stuff that of course he himself also does not seem to use. So I'll put this down here actually. And there's only a few more items left remaining, thankfully, because it's 14 minutes in already. There has some wires. So this is also from, again, this is all stuff that's for loan. Not loan, this is all stuff that's just for storage. It's not for loan, it's not a gift, it's just space, extra space. Sounds like an empty cartridge. I don't know what's inside. Looks like something for Bluetooth, honestly. I'm not gonna open it. This is his stuff, his wires anyways. That's why I didn't check it out. And then there's like this is definitely like a modem thing that's more up to date. It's like a tiny little one here. You can see it says power, WAN, the LAN, phone 1, phone 2. And attention, when dialing 911, be prepared to provide your address location. 911 calling and tech talk will not function during a power or broadband internet outage. So tech talk, that's apparently what this is all about. And on the back here, there's like a model number, SN, and all stuff like that. Corporation of Electrical Engineers Society. All the standards that you need for that guy. Now, we're almost done, guys. Almost done. There seems to be these wires. Again, this is all new to me. I have no idea what's in here. I'm finding this out as you are right now. A Pace AC adapter. And he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. Like, this is stuff that obviously he's given me to hold on to because he not only does not use it, but he doesn't actually want it. I have a feeling he's done this before. He's a sneaky little guy. Sometimes he gives me stuff. He's like, oh, can you just hold on to this? Okay, by the way, you can keep it. It's just garbage. Like, dude. So we have that kind of banter once in a while, but basically some of the stuff that he does is actually useful. He's given me stuff that's like actual like backpack type stuff even, and he's helped me with this. Like, we've helped each other in a lot of ways, and I really appreciate his friendship. AC adapter, Pace part number, model number, input output efficiency. Okay. Put it down, some wires, that's all it is. And then the last thing here seems to be some papers. Customer cable. Okay, so there's an invoice. I'm not going to read this to you. I'm not going to show it to you, but it does say equipment location, modem, MAC address, brand number, all that kind of important stuff, details, which will not be included in this video because this is about him as a customer of that internet company. There seems to be more than one invoice, and yeah, more than one invoice. I see, of course. Well, I recognize the address because he's allowed me to use his address more than once before. There's also a plastic bag in there, so there's that too. I think that's about it. What I'm going to do now is just kind of toss everything inside there. The plan is to move, like I said, both of these out, and I think the internet stuff will go first into storage. I don't have a reason to keep it at the rental lease housing. But the air mattress, that one's gotta go to the rental lease. So that's kind of everything. The radio can stay in storage as well though. Oh, actually we might use the radio, who knows? So with that being said, I think that's everything for this particular video. I know it went on longer than I would have liked to because, as I mentioned at the beginning, what I wanted to do was cover one bag at a time, so that I didn't want to have like a 20-minute video podcast. I just wanted to have like 10 minutes and focus solely on one. I think it works better that way because everyone's busy nowadays. I'm busy. Everyone's busy. We're all, functioning adults. We have so much on our plate, and so many people, so many commitments. So a podcast, I wish I could just make a 10-minute podcast, honestly. And that's my goal, to try to cut things down. But obviously we are in this kind of situation, I call it I just kind of made up a term, a phrase for it, the emergency SOS broadcast. It's like a meme for the 1960s, the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is an emergency broadcast. Nuclear warheads have been launched from the Soviet Union and are approaching and will arrive in, T minus, 20 minutes. All civilians are encouraged to evacuate and take shelter. Right? So anyways, that's not something you can make light of anything, honestly. Dark humor is good humor. So that being said, good, we're done. All right, thanks for that. Now I can finally say, when I put this stuff inside there, we'll probably move to storage, move it out there. And in the next video, I think, which is not gonna happen now, we just did 6 video recordings back to back. That's nuts. And I have a lot of stuff to do today. I got to contact a lot of people I mentioned in the previous video, which would be for you guys the day beforehand. So caseworkers, friends, and stuff like that. And then I gotta set up the phone. Okay, so with that being said, let's get the hell out of here. And I gotta do some little bit of minor editing and transferring, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Thank you very much. And tune into the next one where we talk about, we're going to clear all these ugly bastards receipts. I think there are at least 50 receipts here lying on one area of the office. And then if it's not that, we will cover a synopsis of the office region. So we're going to cover the office and we're going to take it apart. We're really going to leave now. Let's go. Good game. All right. We won't be able to cover everything, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. Peace out, guys. And again, thanks again for the appreciation, animation, to my supporters, to people who have been listening, to those to the two recurring people over on Spotify or whatever. Thank you for listening over and over again and keeping in touch, staying in touch. Yeah. See you soon.